Now I'm really pleased to introduce to you Perrier, which needs no introduction. She is the Lady of Clay, I've got to tell you. She is amazing in her information and what she has done for all of us by bringing us the detox clay, the living clay that we have at the Power Hour. We are so grateful that years ago she told us about the importance of calcium bentonite clay, and now you hear it everywhere. But it was she that began all of this, and we thank you very much, Perrier Arledge, for joining us at the Power Hour today.
Thank you, Joyce. I'm ready to talk clay. How about you?
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. We have got what Dr. Cass Ingram considers a medical emergency on our hands now. Now we need to talk in terms of using clay for adults, for children, and for pets. So let's start with what we need to do. And I do thank you for sending me the booklet, the clay booklet on how to kickstart your day with living clay. And we're going to be providing that to our listeners that don't have access to the Internet. And it will also be in the email blast today. But let's start with dealing with a radiation emergency with adults.
Joyce, if you have any inkling that you're getting radiation fallout on you, I don't care what level it is, it's going to build up. Take one clay bath a week if you're in a mild zone. That will detox through the skin. You should drink clay. I am drinking clay all day long. Before I eat anything, if I think it has radiation in it, I'm going to take some clay. So I'm drinking a sip of clay before I eat, another about an ounce after I eat. Instead of taking it just morning and night, I'm taking it anytime I eat. I'm going to get that radiation before it gets in my body.
Okay.
Simply put, that's the safest thing we can do for ourselves.
All right, now let me ask you this. I've been putting it in my green smoothies. I've been putting it in my soups, my stews. The Power Team members get it when they don't even know they're getting it. I put it in my salad dressings now, whip it up in the blender. Now, that's the way that I'm getting it on an ongoing basis. But is that effective to do it that way, to mix it with other items?
Clay is so strong, it doesn't take a whole lot to be preventative. So if you're getting it throughout the day that way, that's good. And when you're putting it in with your food, so that's why I want you to have it before you eat, because we don't know nowadays what's been exposed. The word organic garden doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, we've damaged that name because we don't know. You can't see this invisible radiation on your plants.
Okay, now for a person who doesn't know anything about calcium bentonite clay, and we have to know that there's always new people tuning in, for the sake of them, it's a powder. It comes in a jar. You can buy it by the pound. It's the most cost-effective way is to buy it probably the larger the amount of poundage, and then separate it and divide it up between your friends and family. Dr. Cass was just talking about the importance of putting it on your garden, and that's another thing. He said it will draw the radiation out of your garden and into the soil. Now, I'm not sure about all of that and how to do that, but you know, you've talked about using calcium bentonite clay in the garden before. Do you explain to people, first of all, how to drink the clay, because there may be people that don't even know how to mix it up and drink it.
Okay. You make it up to a 1-to-8 ratio, 1 part clay to 8 parts water. Shake it up. You want it fully expanded. You want the lumps out. So you need to shake it. You can put a large batch in your blender, blend it. It'll keep indefinitely on your kitchen cabinet. You just don't want to set it in the bright sunlight. And from that, the general dosage is 2 ounces twice a day for like 14 days for a detox. This is going to cleanse your colon, cleanse the old fecal matter out. It's going to balance your gut flora, and it's going to have you having more energy because you're getting more nutrition from your supplements and from the food you eat. So just drinking it like that, you know, I pour out a little shot of clay. I have my clay toddy. And I drink it, like I said, a little before. Now, if you have an aversion to the taste, you can mix it in a little apple juice. You can put it in your tea or coffee, your smoothies. And, Joyce, like you said, put it in your foods that you're cooking. So you're getting some every day. Now, from that liquid, I keep a large jug on my kitchen cabinet because I give everybody that comes over a shot of clay whether they want it or not.
Okay.
They know you can get a clay shot when you come see Barry Hay.
And I think the idea of putting it in a blender is real good because then you don't have any problem with any clumping at all in the blender. You know, one of the things that I did at the Jefferson City meeting is we showed people how to make sprouts, and I had sprouts there in various stages of them, and gave them to the people that attended on a cracker. And then I had a dressing over it, but I didn't tell them. And that in the dressing there was calcium bentonite clay, along with my use of balsamic vinegar and whatever. And it was really excellent. And nobody even knew they had clay in it. And that's the best way to take it, is when you're not even thinking about it, and you get it with everything you eat. So I want to encourage people to just kind of do this and play with it in whatever you fix.
Yes, we have lots of recipes, clay recipes, and people are so creative in sending us new ones every day. In fact, I'm giving a talk at a bookstore coming up, and they're going to make clay hors d'oeuvres for everyone that night. So they're going to be getting clay and won't even notice it. It goes down easy that way. And it's really not, after the first time or two you get used to it, there's really no taste. It leaves a little chalkiness in your mouth afterwards, but one sip of clay and that's gone. One sip of water and that's gone. It's good to swish your teeth after you brush in the morning, too, with a little clay. It helps your teeth and gums. So it starts working in the mouth, works all the way through. Now, it's not absorbed into the bloodstream, so when it goes in the mouth, it goes all the way through. Even though it's not absorbed in the bloodstream, clay can stop anemia. It can help boil bone density. It can cleanse the liver. It does all these things. It does it through biotransmutation, and I don't mean to get into chemical talk. Basically, here's what clay does. It's a catalyst that works with the body so the body can heal itself. The body sends enzymes to break down what it needs from the clay. It only takes what it needs on an as-need basis. The clay helps the body release toxins and waste and discharge them. So what else do we need?
That's right. That's right. And we have the clay at the Power Hour now, 877-817-9829. Now, if you want to buy the larger amounts, like 50 pounds of clay, and divide it up between your family and friends, then that will be drop shipped to your home. So call us at 877-817-9829. And the book Living Clay is like the gold standard book to go along with your calcium bentonite clay, so be sure to get that. And it is on special today at the Power Hour and at the Power Mall. Now, if you do not have any access to a computer, there is an incredible booklet that she has done called How to Kickstart Your Day with Living Clay. It's an instructional manual on using clay, and it's about 6 or 7 pages. Now, if you want to have this sent to you, you need to purchase something, and we will send it to you. But you have covered everything in this little booklet. You kind of condensed the book Living Clay into all of this, on all the external and internal usages, the general detox, advanced detox, precautions if you're taking medications, protocol for clay baths. It's all in here.
Yes, we needed something. People kept calling and asking questions, and we thought we need something condensed for them just to look at and get it. Oh, this is how you make it. Okay. Mm-hmm. We made it as simplified as we could do it. We start with what a 1 serving would be, and then we show you how to make the jar of liquid clay. And it's very simplified, very understandable, and it was something we should have done a long time ago. So we're excited to get this out. Like we say, they're free downloads, and we're making them free to people. We're waiting for the printer to come in, and we'll send you some free booklets too.
Well, I appreciate that. I noticed, I had not asked this before, but it has a pH, the clay, calcium bentonite clay, and don't get it mixed up with other clays. We're talking about the Cadillac. We're talking about the best, the pharmaceutical grade, has a pH of 9.7. That's amazing. I was not aware of that.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's one of the beauties. All clays are different. Some clays are actually acidic, so you need to know your clays. And this one has a 9.7 pH, and it is, I had acid reflux, and I started taking the clay. That's really when I became a convert, because I had it so bad I didn't want to go to the doctor, but I thought, I'm going to get esophageal cancer from this horrible acidic stuff coming up in my throat at night. And I started taking the clay internally then on the recommendation from a friend, and I mean, in 3 days, I could lay down and sleep like a baby. It was totally gone. Totally
that
gone.
is wonderful. Speaking of babies, putting it in their bottle with their formula, well, how do we do it for babies?
Okay, you mix that liquid up and put about a half a teaspoon in their milk. In their milk, you know, clay's actually in chocolate milk. It's what makes it thick. So.
Oh, interesting. Now, that's not a reason to go drink chocolate milk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk in terms of radiation, because I know a lot of people online are now discussing the importance of calcium bentonite clay, like they just thought of it. But it does convert and do an ion exchange with the radiation. That's what I think is so powerful with this whole thing.
Yes. Clay has this strong negative charge, and radiation, uranium, all of those components are a positive charge. So now I'm hearing, all my knowledge tells me that Russia used calcium bentonite clay in Chernobyl, and I know that they ordered 100 tons a year or so afterwards, just distribute across the land and farmlands to get it out of the soils and things.
Interesting.
So it's very good at drawing that radiation to it. The beauty of clay, when it draws something, it holds it, it captures it. So, you know, the clay is not going to release it again. And that's the beauty of it.
So that's the function of the clay within the body, is that when you drink it, explain that.
Toxins, pesticides, anything that is the positive charged ion, which we have bad bacteria and good bacteria. Your bad bacteria has the positive charged ions. So clay is very selective. It's only looking for something with a positive ionic charge, and it goes to the worst place first and cleans that out. So it's going to pull that to it. It can do it two ways. It has a cation exchange ratio on the outer edges of the clay where the dominant minerals are, so it will throw off a calcium, a magnesium, or a potassium and take in its place one of the bad boys, the radiation in this case. So it attaches to it. It also pulls it inside. Now, all clays have some cationic radiation, but bentonites have between 100 and 150, anywhere from 80 to 150, where most clays have down into the 20s. So it's important you get this premium clay.
This is not about selling a bunch of stuff. This is about protection. Because, listeners, it's real. And that new information coming out of Fukushima today, how, we got the decimal points wrong, and you're really being poisoned. It's so sad to see these kinds of ploys happening, but those of us are protected. Well, I feel really good, and I know that Perrier does also, in that we are telling you the best that we can, the best that we know. These items are not all that expensive, but you do need a lot of clay. You don't just want to order 1 pound of clay, because this is going to go on for another 3 to 6 months. And if you can get people to go together with you, it's going to be the best, in my estimation. And I just want to tell you, Perrier, that we just got an email from Costa Rica saying, "Love the show. Thanks to this wonderful lady and her miracle clay. I healed a very nasty dog bite and infection. It took several weeks, but it is healed with just a slight scar. Bless you, Perrier, in the Power Hour." Michael in Costa Rica. He said he took some pics of the healing, which he will send to us. So, you got fans all over the world, Perrier.
No, the clay does. Clay has fans. She gathers her own. I can't explain to people how valuable a clay bath is. It's kind of like telling someone who's never eaten an apple what an apple tastes like. It's just something you have to experience, and you will be so wowed after your first one, you want to continue to have the clay baths. They are just magical for stimulating the whole body circulation, opening up the flow of energy from in the body, and that's when we get muscle aches, tied up places, when we have a constriction of muscles with pain. And the clay baths, not only are they detoxing you through the pores of your skin, pulling out heavy metals, uranium, or things of that nature, it's going to relax those muscles and allow the flow of oxygen and blood, which is what we need. That's why we sleep on these magnetic mattresses, to balance our body, and the clay has an electromagnetic energy built into it, like it has the 9.7 pH.
And I think the clay baths, well, they're good, radiation or no radiation. They're good for you.
They will relax you. Your skin feels baby soft afterwards. You don't need to rinse off. You just dry yourself off after one, and your skin feels marvelous. It has just had a 15 to 20 minute revitalization.
I'd like for you to talk quickly about not quickly because I think it's so important, but about the spas that use your clay, and it doesn't have anything to do